Chapter 6 of Mother 3 is by far the game's shortest. You can finish it effortlessly in under 6 minutes, as all you physically have to do to make it through is make Lucas walk. The only challenge then comes emotionally, since there are no enemies to fight back here besides your own tears. Before I start gushing about why this chapter deserves its own video though, I should quickly summarize what happens. So after our heroes fall off of the Pigmask's mother pork ship, Kumatora and Duster are separated from each other and from Lucas and Boney, who both drop to safety in a field of sunflowers, Lucas's deceased mother's signature favorite flower. As Lucas wanders alone aimlessly against the backdrop of a wavy, refracting blue sky, the voice of Hinawa calls out to her son in an effectively minimalist sentimental cutscene set in the memory of a room he was once cradled in as an infant. As Lucas returns from his daydream, the boy and his dog reunite and continue along the ill-defined path until the ghost of his mom begins fading into existence further ahead. In an attempt to catch up to her, the two carry on, with Boney running past him, until it's just mother and son, alone in a grass clearing where the cliff ends. Her ephemeral form no longer falters as she waits for Lucas just out of reach, but he leaps for her anyway. The desire to embrace the loved one he prematurely lost is so strong here that he jumped without regard for his own life. He was likely caught in a trance he couldn't or didn't think about breaking free from. This location feels phantasmagorical, which isn't out of place for the Mother series, so perhaps he figured that this was all a dream anyway and that he'd truly wake up soon. Because of its surreal nature, it seems that Lucas did imagine the field of sunflowers on his descent from the airship. Could it have been his own Magicant? But I think that it was a tangible place the spirit of Hinawa guided him and Boney through, because directly below the precipice she stops at is a soft landing prepared by her father, after she visited him in a dream and told him to pile hay in this specific spot. It's made clear that this wasn't a lucky coincidence. Hinawa has a limited ability to communicate with her family and their friends from the afterlife. This is supported by the fact that Kumatora was saved by her too. When Lucas eventually finds her, she mentions that a pretty woman dressed in red appeared in Doria's dreams, and foretold that Kumatora would fall into the pond near the Magypsy's house. Doria also claims that Duster's alright, which is a reassuring piece of information Hinawa could have passed along as well. This power to reach out in a transient state from beyond the grave, to directly and indirectly commune with the living, foreshadows her role during the game's climax, when her restless soul tries to mend the pieces of her broken family. But that all comes later. In Chapter 6 itself, there's no dialogue at all. And, like Flint's breakdown in Chapter 1, it's surprising for a game series in which the player characters don't often emote, a game series in which its words do the heavy lifting. However, in true Shigesato Itoi fashion, the unconventional choice is an effective one. It's perhaps Mother 3's most iconic moment, and I don't think anyone who's played this game can forget how the trip through sunflower fields resonated with them. The almost reunion between Lucas and his late mother, chasing an apparition of what was the most important person in his life, is heartrending. The music is utterly poignant too, really kicking in when she appears for the first time. Listening to these two tracks by Shogo Sakai outside of the game is enough to transport me right back into the shoes of Lucas, to re-envision what it must be like for him during this sequence. Being a mostly silent protagonist, he's a character that we can all project a bit of ourselves into, playing into Itoi's goal of making Mother 3 like a mirror, one that reflects the heart of the player off of the screen. I can only sympathize with those players who have lost their own mothers and can empathize personally with Lucas. I debated merging this bite-sized episode of Dark Aspects with the previous one, but I ultimately decided against it because I really wanted to highlight how significant this segment is on its own. I know that this is more akin to sad aspects than dark aspects, but I feel that the game's heavy theme of losing a parent and the associated grief culminates to this moment. It's bittersweet. Yes, Hinawa can no longer somatically comfort Lucas, but she'll always be a part of his life and she'll continue to look out for him from above. We are sadly nearing the end of this journey through the dark aspects of Mother 3, but the final 2 episodes will be the biggest yet. I'll see you all then.